Well, what's the meme of like the tail spectrum of like the poor person drives a Toyota, the middle person has a Porsche, BMW, Mercedes, and the rich person goes back to Toyota. Of like, it's like whether you are very uneducated or extremely wise, you tend to end up.
Oh, this one. And it basically says that people with low net worth buy a Toyota, people with like in the middle, that sort of middle percentage buy Lamborghinis and Porsches and Jaguars, and then people with extremely high net worths buy Toyotas.
But I think people, like a lot of comedy, you see it and like it's funny because people are like, yes, that's true. That's how it works. I think a lot of it is like the richer you become, you realize that the big house and the fancy car didn't do anything for you. It didn't give you what you thought it was going to give you. And then so you're like, look, I'm just going to go back to utility. Like status didn't do it for me, so I'm going to go back to utility. It can also be the case that if you're successful and rich, you can gain your admiration and your attention through what the business that you built or the intelligence that you have or the friendship that you can offer others. Yeah. I think you'll see that in investing, that like the absolute layperson will invest in index funds, and the extremely experienced Wall Street veteran will invest in index funds as well. And it's a person in the middle that just has like a little bit of intelligence, a little bit of experience, a little bit of information that is trying as hard as they can to outperform the market.
But ultimately the book, if there was one overarching lesson it taught me, was that like patience and more boring investing is the way to build my wealth over the long term. And that like all other strategies have hidden trade-offs which lead you to being broke.
Yeah. I think there's a truth too that like there's an optimal level of intelligence that you want for investing, where you want to be smart enough to understand the basics, but not so smart that the basics bore you. And a lot of people get so smart that they're like, look, index funds, compound interest, it's too boring. Like I need something really complex to satisfy the intelligence that I have. And I there's a sweet spot where, like for me, I'm just like, oh, index funds and compound interest, like that's kind of as high as my intelligence goes here. Mm-hmm. But I think the truth is that is the best position to be in. Smart enough to understand the basics, but not so smart that they become boring to you.